Today's lesson is on solving two-step equations. The goal of solving equations is to isolate the variable. That means that we want the variable to be by itself. The goal is to isolate the variable. An easy way to think about this is if you want to isolate the variable, you really want to get rid of all of the numbers that are around that variable. Think of it as the variable x really wants to be by itself. So you do want to get rid of -12 and you want to get rid of 5. Now the best way to do this is to get rid of the number that is far away from the variable first and then move closer to the variable. So for this equation, -12 is farther from x. We are going to get rid of -12 by using inverse operations, which is to add 12. We're going to add 12 to both sides of the equation, which leaves you with 5x equals 230. And from here, we want to get rid of 5. That way x is by itself, which means here you want to get rid of 5 so that x can be isolated. In order to do that, inverse of 5 times x is to divide by 5, divide by 5. And you simplify and you get x is equal to 6. Same here, same idea. The number 7 is farther from y, so we want to get rid of 7 first. So we subtract 7 to both sides. That simplifies to 0. 1/2 y is equal to -28. Now think of how you can get rid of this 1/2. In order to get rid of 1/2, you would have to multiply the inverse of that fraction. That way you can simplify to 0, which will just be 1y, which is the same thing as just y. And that is equal to, you have to do the same on the other side, -56. In this question, same thing, you add 4, which is inverse of subtract 4, add 4 to the side, and you have -3h is equal to -15. It is a good habit to make sure that you cross out the numbers that no longer is needed. And you divide by -3, divide by -3, and h is equal to 5. And this last example here, you subtract 8 to both sides, all over, and you cross out that. You don't need that anymore. 3/4 k is equal to -12. Again, in order to get rid of 3/4, you would have to multiply by the inverse of that fraction. That way 3 simplifies with the 3 in the denominator, and 4 will simplify. And you do the same on the other side, 4/3. And k is equal to, and you simplify this, -16. Now the same rule applies for decimals and fractions. There are easier ways to solve these equations with fractions and decimals, which are called clearing fractions and clearing decimals. Stay tuned for those videos of clearing fractions and clearing decimals. For now, we are going to use the same rules that we've used to solve these two-step equations. So here, first, we're going to subtract 1/4 to both sides. And 2s is equal to, now let's go ahead and solve this portion. Let's solve this right here on the side. So we have 5/8 minus 1/4, and you have to find the common denominator. So 5/8 minus 2/8, which is going to be 3/8, and bring that number here, 3/8, and you divide by 2 to both sides. Now, we want to divide by 2 on the right side. Since this is already a fraction, that's going to equal to s is equal to 3/8 times 1/2, and the answer is 3/16. I'm going to box this one so you can see the answer more clear. Here with the decimals, it's the same thing. The rules are still the same. Use add to get rid of 3.4. to both sides. B over 1.3 is equal to 5.5. And here we want to multiply by 1.3. That's the only way to get rid of the denominator, and we multiply that by 1.3. Therefore, B is equal to 7.15. Now watch out for these tricky questions. So take a look at this. Again, remember I said to get rid of the number that is far away from the variable first, and then get rid of the number that is close to the variable. So negative 14 is farther from x, so we are going to get rid of negative 14 by adding 14 to both sides. Now this question is tricky because normally the variable comes first and then plus or minus a number. In this case, it's flip-flopped. The number came first and then the variable. So here we get negative 5x is equal to 25. And you divide by negative 5 to both sides, and your answer is negative 5. I do have some practice problems right here. Feel free to stop the video and work on these questions. And this worksheet is available in the link below, so don't forget to check that out. If you found value in this video, please subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you can receive more tutorial videos. Stay positive and have a math-tacular day.